Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back on another review. This time, I saw Arcadian. This is a post-apocalyptic horror film directed by Benjamin Brewer, and it stars, Nicolas Cage, Jaden Martell, Maxwell Jenkins, and Sadie Soverall. In this film, in the near future on a decimated Earth, Paul and his twin sons face terror at night when ferocious creatures awaken. When Paul is nearly killed, the boys come up with a plan for survival using everything their father taught them to keep him alive. So, what did I think of Arcadian? Well, I watched this movie because I had a friend who'd seen it and he wanted my thoughts on it, so I was like, whatever. And I quite enjoyed it. This is getting decent reviews, and I kind of agree with those reviews. It does. There are some issues filmmaking wise. I will get to, but as a lean, it's 92 minutes. It's not too long at all. It's perfect length for this material. Um, I just had a lot of fun with it. But let me get to the cast. Nicolas Cage plays Paul. He's the father of these twin boys. Nicolas Cage, great actor, always loved him, even in some of his like direct-to-video stuff like Prisoners of the Ghostland, Willy's Wonderland, um, Color Out of Space. He's done a lot of really cool shit in his direct-to-video era, which I will give him a lot of credit for that. He's decent here. Part of the issue is I feel like this is less his movie and more of the teen actor's movie because for about a half of the film he is kind of asleep because he gets injured. Um, um, but it is nice that they give plenty for uh the other actors to do. But he's decent. Jaden Martell plays Joseph. He's kind of the more like brainy one uh of the two brothers. I've liked Jaden in quite a few things. I enjoyed him in Saint Vincent. I thought he was really good in Saint Vincent for starting actor. The Book of Henry, he was really good. I do think he is a good young actor. Um, and here I think he does a great job. Uh, Maxwell Jenkins plays Thomas. He's the other son. He's kind of the dumber one, I guess. I guess that's how I'd describe him. But I've seen this actor in one other film, A Family Man, with Gerard Butler, which I actually quite enjoyed as a drama. Um, with some really good acting moments, some good moments of kind of melodrama, kind of just drama. But I think he did a good job here as well. Um, he holds the screen very well, and I thought it was an interesting choice to kind of have it be these two twins movie in the second half. I thought that was an interesting idea, or for the last two-thirds of the film. And Sadie Soverall plays Charlotte, who's a girl that Thomas keeps visiting on this farm every so often, who he has kind of a thing for. I thought she did a fine job. Apparently, she was in Saltburn. I haven't seen Saltburn. Um, but yeah, this film. Um, I want to get out of the way the things I wasn't crazy about. So the cinematography at times. Now, there are a lot of really nice shots in this film. Do not get me wrong. There are a lot of nice shots of the wilderness, this like barren wasteland, and it actually does sell the whole post-apocalyptic tone of the film very well. But then you get a lot of these earlier shots, and even in later in the film shots, where the camera just can't stay still and it looks really cheap. And it kind of made me dizzy early in the film. Um, and it kind of made me think, oh God, what's this going to be? But again, this film grew on me as it went on. But some of these shots it's like this, and they do zooms in the middle of the shot, which is one of my biggest pet peeves in films, especially when you don't do it right. It just looks like you didn't have the shot planned out and you're just like doing it as you go. And there's even some really bad editing mistakes. Like a character will be like reading a book and then it cuts to a shot from the same angle of the character doing something completely different, and it just comes off like sloppy editing. Now, Benjamin Brewer, the director of this is his directorial, well, it's not his directorial debut. He also did the film The Trust with Nicolas Cage and uh, Elijah Wood. It was a co-directing thing with Benjamin and his brother, I guess, Alex, which I guess that's the only thing he's done. But Benjamin Brewer is most well known as a visual effects guy, and he worked on Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was the lead VFX artist. That film, I'm pretty sure, won Best VFX. So it makes sense um, that he would want to direct a movie that would have visual effects feature pretty prominently in places, but I'll talk about that later. But his direction here is okay early on. It's more kind of sloppy from that camera work, but it does get better as the film goes on. Um, the fact that Nicolas Cage isn't in most of the film acting is a bit of a letdown for me because I was hoping to have some crazy Cage moments. And you kind of get a crazy Cage moment near the end of the film, but it kind of does come out of nowhere because that's right when he wakes up. Because he wakes up like right at the end of the film. If you're gonna watch this movie for Nicolas Cage, I really would suggest not because he's not really in it all that much. The kids are in it way more than him. But also the film's pace at time like earlier on it is a bit slow to get going. It takes about from like 25 minutes in till the end of the film, golden. Like super fun, super creepy. All that stuff is really well done. I know the beginning stuff might have been to set up the characters. That's probably what it was meant for. Is to set up the characters so that you give a shit about them later, which I did because I think the film's writing for them is pretty good. But I do think it takes a little bit too long to get going. Maybe at 15 minutes in that would have been better. But yeah. Uh, the well, I should get to the good. Um, the first thing I want to give major credit to right now, excuse me, is the VFX for the monsters. These monsters, along with the creature designs, very unique, very cool looking, very creepy. It's very. You kind of have to see it to understand. These effects are like 30, 40, 50 million good looking, and this had a 7 million budget. It probably helps that the director is a visual effects artist and knows how to light these creatures so that it looks the best. Because if you had these creatures, I bet if you had these exact models in bright sunlight and you were lighting them like that, it would not look near as good. But you have this interesting design where like these creatures when they're about to attack, their mouth like starts going like it's very weird. It's like at first I was like, am I gonna laugh at this? But then it like gets unnerving. I liked that. I liked that it caught me off guard. I thought at first it was gonna be like a goofy looking effect, but then it kept going, and then there's like a bit where its stomach opens and then it like grabs somebody and kills them. It's it's pretty freaky. Like this movie gets down the horror feel so damn well. And I was expecting like another blunder like Pay the Ghost, where it's just a bunch of jump scares. This film doesn't do that. The scares are more so you fearing for what's going to happen next. And I like that as we go throughout the film, it takes the film a bit to get to when you see a full monster. I like that at first it's kind of the fear of the unknown, and you're just seeing like the door shake, and then later we get an actual reveal of the monster because one of the characters catches one. And I like how the monster looks. It's a very creepy design. They make this really creepy sound. It's just creepy. It's very well done. And the effects again are sorry about my hair. The effects are really solid. Like really good looking, especially for the budget this had. And even when characters are fighting with the monsters, it still looks pretty good. Um Again, the two young actors, Jaden Martell, Maxwell Jenkins, both do pretty solid jobs acting wise. They help hold the movie together very well. Um, Again, if these two hadn't been good actors, the film would have like fallen off like crazy, and that would have sucked. But again, I've liked Jaden Martell since Book of Henry, which I think is a stellar fucking movie. And I know it's kind of an up and down for people. Some people fucking hate it, some people love it. I loved it. I loved where it went. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was a very intense thriller. Um, and again, the acting from everybody was pretty great in that. And again, Maxwell Jenkins was impressive in his starring role in A Family Man with Gerard Butler. Um, the musical score by Kristen Control and Josh Martin, very solid as well, very well done. A lot of really nice like piano music that kind of like is both calming, but in different uses it's more unnerving, and I like it. It works with the apocalypse, at the apocalyptic tone we've got here. Um, the um, oh yeah, about the monsters. The This film is listed as action horror. I wouldn't really say that. There are a couple fights that they have with the monsters, but even during the scenes that you could consider action scenes with the monsters, I do think the film does a good job of still keeping it intense, not like it's like, "Ooh, look at this badass action scene against the monsters." It's more, "Oh my God, I'm scared they're gonna fucking die." Like this film actually had me on edge, which is a good thing for a film like this because if the CGI hadn't been as of high quality as it was, if the two actors were terrible, it would have the film would have fallen on its face. And the fact that everything here is pretty solid, aside from some of the cinematography at times, and the fact that Nicolas Cage should have been in it more, it I think it makes for a pretty solid creature feature. Like if you were into this type of movie, I feel like you would enjoy this film. And it's nice to see again that you can do some pretty cool things with CGI, especially when the CG artists are probably getting paid a decent amount. And again, this shows that indie cinema isn't dead. Like, there's plenty of independent films that I've enjoyed that are just so much better than everything coming out of Hollywood. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I do wish that the film got going a bit quick, just a little bit quicker, and I do wish that the uh, camera work was better throughout all of it. That's the weird thing. The shaky cam doesn't really happen during the monster scenes as much. It's not really even during the times where the monsters are attacking. It's more so during bits where characters are talking to each other. But I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Hope you will too. But yeah, that was my review of Arcadian. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. And movie reviewer next door.